Hello and welcome to the Power Grid International interview studio at Distributech International, brought to you by ABB. I'm Power Grid International and Distributech Editor-in-Chief John Engel, joined by Todd Shock, ABB eMobility's Channel Sales Manager. Todd, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me today.
Talking a lot about EVs here at Distributech this week. Walk me through the makings of a good utility EV program and what that looks like.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, what we've learned with utility programs for what we look at, a sponsorship, the same principles hold true with any of our segments, public charging, fleet charging. It starts with top up executive sponsorship. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity in terms of the energy and transportation transition that we're going through. So it starts with that top down executive sponsorship. Buy-in from the top, knowing that this is a huge opportunity. It's not experimental. It's not a pilot. It's going to take a huge commitment from the top.
How about the most challenging steps along the way? What are some of the potholes, no pun intended when we're talking about transportation, that we should be watching out for?
I think one of the biggest potholes, if you think about, EV, electrifying the car, electrifying the charger, there's a lot of upstream equipment that's required. There is a load that's required from the utility itself. So oftentimes you run into what's called lead time problems, but really it becomes a planning problem. So if you can get ahead of the planning problem as a utility, as a fleet owner, you're in a much better position to really dictate your own lead times.
A lot of talk about partnerships at Distributech this year. I've noticed that. A lot of the big players, even seeming competitors, linking up and saying, I do this really well, you do this really well, let's do something really well together. The importance of partnerships with EV programs, utilities, how does that fit into the mix?
Yeah, partnerships are crucial. You think about everyone in the value chain, from site designers, installers, OEMs like ourselves who provide the hardware, the technology, the services, the connected services. From the utilities perspective, they really need that path to procurement laid out in the beginning, and really a crisp understanding of how they're going to leverage the value chain, and most importantly, when they're going to engage those members of the value chain. So the biggest advice or takeaway I would give is engage us first. We have world-class partnerships with everyone within the value chain. We can help you from day one mitigate lead times, mitigate mistakes from overbuilding your charging deployment, underbuilding, having pilots that aren't as successful as you would like, and really transitioning to EV at scale.
All right, give me the pulse of what you're hearing here at Distributech International 2024. Maybe something that's even different from previous years, previous events that we've had. What are you hearing in the conversations that you're having, not only within your own organization, but with other attendees and sponsors that are making their way through?
Everything I'm hearing is good news. I think within the industry, we do a pretty good job of, not reading the headlines, not paying attention.
I hope you read the headlines more, because that's how I get paid.
Yeah. I'm happy to be clickbait for you.
All right, I'll send those to you directly.
Yeah. But, really here with this educated audience who really is helping to build out this infrastructure long term, they understand the importance not only to our environment, but the economic importance. It's an exciting time to be in the industry, and I think everyone is doing a great job of really understanding how they can add value. With not only within the value chain, but what's unique about EV is, essentially at the end, it's consumer electronics, whether we talk about fleet, transit, utility, or public. In the end, a human being is interfacing with it, so we have to create that seamless, safe, and reliable experience, just like other experiences.
Todd Shock, ABB eMobility, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.